Ich heiße Derek Rue. Ich komme aus Los Angeles, Kalifornien. Es ist meine dritte Spielzeit am Mittelsächsischen Theater. Hello, my name is Derek Rue. I'm from Los Angeles, California. This is my third season in the Mittelsachsen Theater in Germany. So I was living in Salt Lake City as a professional snowboarder, and as you know, there's not so much to do in the summer as a snowboarder. So we made a band. I wanted to sing and play guitar. I learned how to play guitar very well, and I took a beginning course in singing at my college. And it actually was a lot of fun. That's how I got started. Not right away. I didn't study music right away. I was at the University of California in Santa Barbara. I studied French and anthropology. I was doing a little bit of music on the side, and then I went to France to study French in Lyon. In Lyon, I was able to study jazz, and I wanted to play guitar as a jazz singer. And when I got back to the United States, then I started really studying music and getting serious about it. I then took my first klassisch Gesang course. At my university, I met some students, and they had just come back from Europe. They had just come back from singing courses, and I decided to research and find a singing course in Europe. I found the Lyric Opera Studio in Weimar and was accepted to sing Ferrando in Così fan tutte. And I studied it, I learned it, I performed it, and it was one of the most scariest, craziest things I've ever done, but also the most rewarding. And since that time, singing Ferrando, I knew this is what I wanted to do. I actually think it's a lot scarier than snowboarding because you have this social risk factor that is not present in snowboarding. Athletics is more one-dimensional. You have this fear of getting hurt. But in singing, you have the fear of not being together with the conductor, for example, not being accepted by the public, and getting maybe some boos. And this pressure is so great, and are you ready for this? I think it's scarier than death. And that's one reason why I like it so much. Because of this pressure, because of this kind of extra adrenaline that you get, this extra rush, you're able to progress faster. And I'm able to do things that I would never be able to do without this kind of pressure. So as a snowboarder, we were building a jump over a river. It was about 20 meters long. And for some reason, I had to do this. There was a film crew already set up, and they said, Derek, you have to do this. And I said, okay. And we tested the speed. I came up to it, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to make it. But I was already there. We'd already set it up. I was a little bit young and naive, so I just decided to go for it. I ended up coming up about 2 meters short. I hit the side of the bank of the river. I was a little bit dizzy, but a little embarrassed, but it wasn't so bad. It was just before going off this jump, this insecurity that I felt, that was the real part that was scary. So, right now I'm singing in a small theater in Germany, in Freiberg, and I sing a wide variety of things. This season I'm the only tenor, so I'm singing musicals. I'm also singing some pop things, jazz, The roles I'm singing this year are Wenzel in Die verkaufte Braut, The Bartered Bride. Also, I'm singing Sesto in Handel's Giulio Cesare. I'm also singing Simon Stride in Jekyll and Hyde. Ferrando again in Così fan tutte. And Eine Nacht in Venedig, I'm singing Caramello. I prefer singing bel canto things and also things with coloratura, for example, Handel. Not really. It was a great experience, but it was actually written for a mezzo-soprano, so it was a little low for me. So I actually asked my colleagues, my baritone colleagues, how to approach some of the low notes, and they were able to help me out. Who better to ask than a baritone about low notes? And sometimes they would ask me about high notes. Well, I usually recommend it's about what happens before the high note. It's kind of a mental thing, how you approach the high tone. And I like to take advice from Pavarotti, and he says it should be a noble sound, and it should have a covered sound to it. So I like to take his advice. Fritz Wunderlich and Jerry Hadley. Well, we have to sing high notes, and they're really hard. You have the danger of cracking, and also sometimes you're singing 40 measures. If the high note is not perfect, they forget about everything else. But when it is done correctly, I think it is the most beautiful, the most direct, the most romantic sound that a singer can have.